Spring one on me.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It is December 11th. I'm Ryan Miller. Never forget, it's Matt Amber.
Thank you. It's 12/11. I mean, look, if you said 12/15, it would have made more sense because that's my birthday. So never forget, everybody, because gifts can be sent to my P.O. box.
So now I don't know. I mean, it's the best way to start any podcast, but now I don't know if we're starting with a bad September 11th joke and or equating it to your birthday.
Good.
I'm just going to do the whole thing over. Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's December 11th. I'm Ryan Miller.
You better not cut that out.
Fake replacement intro, Matt Amberg.
I love, this is going to be the best. Your editing job today is going to be not only monumentally hilarious, but what gets cut out is just going to be, everything on that so far has been a gem.
I think anybody's amazed that anything gets cut out, honestly, after listening to the finished product of whatever we put out. But also, I like how when you make statements, it often sounds like I've cut together like 5 different things to make whatever you just said.
It's so good.
On Zero Hit Points, where we talk about video games. This is the video game one. It's on Tuesdays. And this week, it's going to be about something you've played. I've got a game. I got a ton of Red Dead stuff. I'm going to skip it all this week. I'm going to save it for next week. I am into the Fabled Chapter 3. I'll give you that much.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about it.
But I just have too much about the Game Awards, both my trip in general and what happened there. So I'm going to leave any game stuff up to you, games you've played, and then we'll get into the Game Awards. So what do you have?
This week, I decided to jump in on that craze that's going around. That whole I guess it was last week technically. No, like the dance,
dabbing.
Like that's illegal. We don't talk about that. It's legal where we both live though, so it's fine.
And I get a clip of you flossing and dabbing, or dabbing while you floss.
I guess.
And yes, whatever you thought I meant when I said that, a clip of that would be fine.
Well, you'll decide differently when you see it, but that's, you know what, whatever. I guess last week's craze, I don't know if it's still a craze anymore.
Okay,
There was a weekend, so it could have been dead. It could be dead by now. I wouldn't know.
Fair.
Smash Brothers, the super ultimate kind, that variety, that was released, and I decided to get in on that. I decided to pick it up. And because I've never played, I maybe played like 4 or 5 games in total over the course of this game existing, this whole thing.
The Smash franchise?
Yeah. Never owned one.
Oh, okay. I thought you had the 3DS one for some reason.
You know what? Daisy had one. That's right. We did have one, but I like, and I still only played it like twice.
Right.
I just don't have any familiarity with the game. I didn't really understand what it was, and anyways, I decided to pick it up, and boy, oh, am I glad I did. That is a fun video game.
Nice.
It is a very, very entertaining game, and I know. I'm going to get out ahead of this. One of the big complaints that people have had, and I think this is mostly coming from veterans of the series that just know what they want, is the adventure mode, which is one of the ways you can unlock the fighters. It's not the most efficient way at all. It's very much you're just going from like, you've got like that Zelda map type thing, or not Zelda, Super Mario Brothers 3 map where you've got an overworld and then you click onto a thing and you choose it. So it's kind of that. And it's just filled with all these battles that you get with these spirits, which are they're like add-ons for the matches that you fight.
Are they, if I understood, they're like consumable perks?
No, they're not consumable at all.
Not at all. Oh,
no,
okay.
They're just there forever, unless you get rid of them, which you can.
Okay, so more like there was a fighting game that had a jewel system of sorts. It's buffs or perks. Mortal Kombat did that too. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and Injustice as well, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that, and it's not. They're not usually things. So far, they haven't really been anything that is obscenely broken to me. A lot of it's like you get more stamina, or you start off with a specific weapon, and so it's they're fine, whatever.
Well, in adventure mode, like single player mode, I feel like you got more leeway anyways. Like people are going to hate those things if you're playing competitively. Which is why a lot of times they restrict them. But yeah, adventure mode, break the game.
And this is all I've done. I haven't touched any other modes in this game, so I can't tell you. I have no details about anything. I literally have not clicked on anything else. So you go through the overworld, and then occasionally you'll get to a larger statue guy, and that's one of the fighters, and you fight them, and if you beat them, you unlock them. So I've been doing that, and I actually really like it. And one of the complaints about it has been that it's very dense, and it takes a long time to get to the fighters, because there's just a lot of spirits that get in the way. And you don't have to fight all of them. Some of them have multiple paths around them, but in a number of spots, you kind of have to go through them. Like you have to go through at least one to get to the unlockable character.
So when you say the spirits get in the way, do you mean like you're unlocking those instead of characters? Or?
Yeah, because those are the spots that you see more on the map. There's like 300 plus spirits on the map. Wow. And how many characters are there in the game? There's like 72, something like that. Like unlockable, yeah. So there's like a mass more than those characters, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to do. So it's fun. I'm liking it. It's entertaining me. It actually helps me because I don't think my biggest complaint is that this game is not friendly to newcomers. You are definitely expected to know how to play this game, like right off the bat. So in that respect, the first bits are a little rough. They can be a little tough when you're trying to figure out how the game totally works and all that. Once you get through the first the first kind of first spirit, and then you get to Mario, and you kind of figure it out a little more with Mario, and then when you play Mario, you figure out more. It starts to blossom a little bit, and it starts to make sense. Once you get, for me anyways, I think I was 3 or 4 unlocked characters in, and I was like, oh, okay, this is starting to click. I'm understanding now how the frame rate matters, and the frames and the attacks matter, and how you should be doing this and how to counter stuff. So it's slow, and I'm not nowhere near good at the game, but the single player is doing a good job of kind of actually building up the knowledge as you unlock people. So you go, I'm going to try this person. And I've tried every one of them, and there are a number of them I have no interest in playing ever again. And that's there's 70 plus characters. Kirby and Jigglypuff, I'm not a huge fan of. I didn't really enjoy Mario.
Yeah, who does?
Yeah, he's not great. The Mii sword fighter, I just don't like anything about that guy.
Mii sword fighter.
Yeah, it's one of the Mii's, like the no legs and just little arms, and it's got a sword.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That was so weird. We Fit lady's still in there, right?
She definitely is. I just unlocked her, actually. She's the only one I haven't played. I unlocked her right before my lunch ended. I was playing this on my lunch because that's the dangerous part of this Switch is it comes with you.
It's portable, you say?
A little bit, yeah. You should get one.
Take your games anywhere? Yeah, tell me it's burning a hole in my... Where is it? Wherever I put it. It's burning a hole there. Yeah, my hole. I added it up. The kids are getting $500 worth of freaking Switch stuff, and they haven't even really asked for it yet. We're trying to prime them, because they haven't made their lists yet. So we're going to Target. We were there for something else, but I was like, oh, hey, look at this. This thing's on demo. So the demo there sucked because it was broken. Because who is out there tearing apart console demos at stores? You guys are the worst.
Jerks.
So we're playing Mario Party. We finally figured out how to get it going, and she knows it exists now. We haven't done lists yet, so it's going to be a success if she actually writes it down, and then we'd be like, yes. But my wife the other day was like, what are we going to get the kids? And I'm like, what are we going to get the kids? They've got like more than I have.
Look,
waiting for.
Let's be fair. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mean it, and you can tell Candy this. I think you should go to her with this, by the way. If neither of the kids put it on their list, it's yours. You get to write it.
What are you gonna do?
You get to write it as from Santa to you. And I think that's legit. You could share it. There's nothing saying you can't, but that you could be like, oh, look at that. I got it. I thought you guys would have asked for it. Too bad.
As per the rules.
Look.
In fact, I'm going to wrap it up and put Evelyn's name on it and then cross it out and then put Dad underneath it. You're like, well, you didn't ask for it. Yeah. Like Santa's well within his legalities at this moment.
That's true. You have no law over elves. Let's be fair.
We'll get there. Thursday for Christmas movies.
Sure, sounds good. But the game is good. I really enjoy it. I'm having fun unlocking characters and playing through. I definitely love Pac-Man. I'm a huge fan. Shocker.
I've heard this actually.
Shocker, right? I really enjoy Pac-Man. This entire game for me is just getting to the point where I can unlock Pit because I just want to play Pit. That's the only character I care about. Everybody else, I'm like, you're all here. Cool. I don't care about you.
Not to move too quickly past Pac-Man. Is it Pac-Man, or do you get a Miss Pac-Man skin at least? Or?
I don't know. It's Mr. Man. Yes.
Okay.
It's Mr. Pac, not Mrs. Unfortunately, which would have been way cooler for me. But
right? Yeah. At least
he's really fun for me to play.
In fact, that's the other game I'm skipping this week. I actually did complete all the achievements for the Miss Pac-Man we got on the Black Friday blowout.
I know there's at least one I'll never get on that game.
It's not. None of them were as bad as you think.
I haven't looked, so I imagine they're the worst.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely they're significantly better than you think. Then.
Oh, good, excellent.
Wait until you look at them. Let me tell you.
Fantastic. I will. I'll check them out and just go bash those out as soon as I can. Actually, because I love the game. Pac-Man's super fun. I really like playing him. The other thing I want to mention is I also I paid for Nintendo's online services.
Cool. Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah. It doesn't roll off the tongue like Xbox Live, but it is what it is.
It is.
And with the online stuff, you get to download all the free Nintendo games, and it comes in like a cool little packaging. So you download, and I assume this just gets updated, but it's just a single app. And then when you open the app, it just has the list of games, and bam! As soon as you it's snappy, man. You click that thing open, you're playing. There's like no waiting to it at all. It totally has the save progress spot, like where you can take the snapshot, and wherever you are in the game, that's where it saves. You can come back to it and all that. I didn't play anything online with anybody, but I did play a number of the games in there, including pro wrestling.
Smart.
Absolutely ridiculous. Gradius.
Gradius?
Yeah, Gradius.
Okay. That's a good one too.
That was really fun. And of course, I could not resist Ice Climber and Super Dodgeball.
Nor should you.
No, both of which are great. The thing that I do think is super freaking great and also funny and also sad, I'm not sure, it's all of these things combined.
Roller coaster, yeah.
It is.
What is this?
Is that these games are direct ports, so everything that you remember, like where games slowed down in Gradius, when you got too much stuff on the screen, it goes blurp, blurp, blurp. Like you get the slowdown. You totally get the slowdown. You get all the weird glitchy things in Super Dodgeball. Somebody seriously plugged the cartridge in, plugged in a USB port, and went copy all files and placed them there. And it's cool.
I mean, Nintendo's famous for doing even less work than that. Like I've heard there's word on the street that they just grabbed some ROMs from the net at some point for some things.
Totally believable.
Yeah.
It's fun, though.
Which, why wouldn't you? They're all, a dump is a dump.
There we are.
I'm changing the tagline on the website momentarily.
But knowing that you were getting a Switch online, I know you're going to get the online function because you got to. I'm looking forward to. There's a couple of games I'm really looking forward to. Double Dragon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just hearing how those things work online. I haven't heard a single thing about anybody that's like, hey, I tried to play these online with somebody right now.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
Because we got that. We got Balloon Fight. We got Ice Climber, which I'm just super excited to play. I love it. I love Ice Climber.
They're fantastic.
Really
I think
fun.
I was just looking at my stuff. the other day because you got me Ice Climber. We went to the retro store down here in town when you were in town, and you got Ice Climber for me.
Yeah, and I think
I was looking at my analog NT and updating all the firmware and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For my Super NT, actually, also that now supports jailbroken firmware. It isn't as robust as the analog NT Mini has all the downloadable cores, so you can play pretty much any 8-bit system as long as you can find the BIOS for it kicking around, which is the illegal part. But the Super NT now has a jailbreak that supports it, at the very least, dumping your carts. Again, I'll use that word.
Cart dumpage.
Cart dumping. A dump is a dump. 0HITPoints.com.
.com.
That's cool. The Switches are neat. I don't know if I ever got the answer to your text saying that you now know why the Switch is the most dangerous console.
Oh, yeah. No, it is absolutely the single most dangerous console in the world. And the reason being that it is portable. And I never considered this at any point because I just don't think about games like this during the day. I just kind of am like at work and I'm doing my work thing. And I realized, at lunchtime I could just bring it upstairs and just play it right here at my desk. And that way I can take my lunch. I can still see if any emails come in, but I can also just play Smash Brothers.
Dangerous in a time management sense.
That is accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a while there, I was like, you started talking about it being portable. So I was like, oh yeah, I guess you could literally use it to bludgeon somebody. Whereas the other consoles, that would be it's
a little more work.
Easy. They're heavier, so maybe you can do more damage, but it's more work. Yeah.
It's a lot more work. Okay. This is definitely more of a stopping measure, not like a complete ending measure. It's a pausing measure. You know, you hit somebody in the face with it, and that's gonna hurt, and they're gonna go no, and then you can get you get a little bit further down the hallway, and that's when you go for the knife.
That's when you hit them with the Xbox,
or the Xbox, right?
Whatever, yeah.
You drop the TV on their head.
Why did you go down a hallway? Now I'm picturing like a Daredevil type scene that's just using consoles to beat people up.
Pull out the Atari Lynx. Ooh, Game Gear. Neo Geo Portable.
I do want to talk about plugging in your Switch though, because I'm guessing you have looked at all these NES games portably. Have you looked at them like plugged in? Are we full 1080 on these things?
Oh yeah, no, I was playing them on my TV. I haven't played them actually on the portable part. The only thing I've taken this thing around for is Smash Brothers.
I'm curious how it stacks up against the analog NT and the Super NT that I have, because the classics only did 720 and those look great either way. But yeah, I'm curious as to the resolution.
I don't know. I honestly I can't tell you. I don't remember. I just played them.
We'll find out. Christmas.
The other thing I do want to quickly mention about this is I was playing it with a Pro controller, and then I actually stopped and I started playing with one of the Joy-Cons. And either controller, I cannot believe how snappy the controls are.
Really?
Like, and I was able to test it out with a game that I still can't. I'm still getting stuck at the exact same spot
that you got stuck at when you were a child.
Absolutely. I still can't do it. I thought I'd go back into this going, okay, I can do this. I could do better. I've played this game now. I'm know this.
Older now.
And no.
More seasoned, mature, skilled.
Ghosts and Goblins just still kicks the crap out of me.
Yep.
Can't do. But like the controls for me anyways, they felt super snappy. Like I was turning left, I was turning right as quickly as I could. Just like it felt just like the Nintendo, like the actual classic Nintendo, where you had pretty snappy controls in most
This is wireless too, right? You're talking. So yeah, that's cool. What am I talking about? Can you even play wired to your Switch? That's the dumbest.
You can. Like I am playing Smash Brothers with the GameCube controller, which is wired.
Oh.
Because you have to get it's such a sham, by the way. It's such a sham.
Isn't that all?
You have to get the GameCube adapter to play with the GameCube controller that they just released. You could use your old ones too, which is why the GameCube adapter is what it is. But if you can make new GameCube controllers without, you could have made it USB, jerks.
I'm wondering now if I will get those NES controllers that
I'm definitely going to pick those up.
Are you? Okay.
Absolutely.
Are they cheap? They weren't that bad, right? They were like $50 for both. I think
they were $50, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's all right.
I'm definitely picking those up.
$550, kids. Can't wait.
If you can find them. I don't even know how available they are right now.
I haven't seen them anywhere in store, but actually something for some reason I thought there was an online thing, I guess.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Anyways, the Switch is cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I'll find out. I'll verify that. Stay
right.
tuned.
I love it. I'm excited for it.
Anything else?
Let's get into the awards of awards. All right. I'm excited for this.
Award shows of award shows? Is that what
that is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. This is bigger than the Oscars. It's bigger than the Tonys.
Okay, Joseph Ferris.
It's bigger than the Grammys.
Speaking of which, he was up front, and I want to say it was the first thing they brought on stage. The first thing. Joseph Ferris is the thing.
That's correct.
That they brought on stage in the pre-show, which is technically the show, if you ask me.
All right, so I'm going to get out in front of this because I like getting out in front of things. I wasn't able to watch it. We were actually busy and out. So I caught up on all the trailers. I watched everything that was a world premiere. I have an idea of who won the big ones. But I missed the good stuff.
Well, we're not going to go. In fact, if you saw or heard either one, our nomination show, we kind of played fast and loose with. We didn't talk about everything. We talked about everything that kind of made an impact or that we had something to say about. I'm pretty much going to do that here too because my notes just run like that. I only commented on stuff I thought was interesting. So there will be skipping over some things, which arguably is what the Game Awards did anyways. So So we have talked about this a little bit before. I did spring for the VIP pass this year, which I figured would be worth it because it had a parking pass included, and that was very nice. I pulled up. I go upstairs. I go to the VIP check-in table, and they give me my bag of VIP, and this is where we find out what it actually all includes. It did include a lanyard, as we had guessed it might, that nobody wore smartly. Like, I wasn't going to put that thing on and be like, yeah, check it out.
I don't know. You could have Wayne's Worlded that, VIP.
If it actually got you stuff, yeah, I mean, but you don't, because they also gave you a fancy looking ticket. The ticket was cool. I was into that. It came in a black envelope, very nice.
Yeah, sure.
But the lanyard didn't get you in anywhere. It was just a thing to wear to be like, pay the extra money. So nobody was wearing it because we're all smarter than that. And it's like I said, this thing is such a normal event, really. Like, it's not as much of although I guess you get a little bit of that. Keeley is kind of pretty good at not overselling it, which might sound strange, but if you think about the Oscars and other award shows, they are not good at that.
No, I mean, and this is seriously so relaxed. It's,
exactly.
People are showing up in t-shirt and jeans, whereas at the Oscars, if you're not dressed to the nines, you're probably not getting in.
Right, yeah. So nobody's wearing their VIP pass, which is fine. And eventually they do let us in. We get in an hour earlier, so that was cool, whatever. But then we can either go to normal area, which is always this lobby that's right before you walk through the doors and sit down at your seats, or the new VIP lounge, which I also tweeted a picture of. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Which they made you go in an elevator, and then I thought the elevator went up to like Fancy Town, but actually went down. So I'm sitting there like in the lounge part, like downstairs, and there were a couple people there. I saw Dave Lang, if you know Dave Lang. There's mostly just other people like me who paid the extra money and probably enjoyed their new parking spot. But at one point there was an escalator, and there was a girl in front of the escalator kind of policing it. So I was like, oh, maybe like, does my pass cover that? And if you look upstairs, there's like more people because it's got like several levels going up. It's in the Microsoft Theater. So I'm like, man, maybe I can go up there. And so I go by and I show her my thing. She's like, yeah, you can go. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I go up the escalator, and it leads to the normal, like not VIP, the everybody area. I'm like, oh, okay, right.
Wah.
But then that's where everybody is too. Like, that's where Max Scoville was walking around. It's got Vince Zampella and pretty much all of Respawn just kind of hanging out, which they're LA, so why wouldn't they? And I ran into, then Khalif actually tapped me on the shoulder. I didn't see him. He found me from Spawn on me.
Hey, Khalif.
So yeah, we got to hang out a bit. I saw him after too. We talked a little bit about who won and all that stuff. So.
Nice.
I get in. I decided to go in finally. Found my seat, and yes, these seats are way better than they ever been. Number one, I actually walk in, and I think I tweeted a picture of this too. But attendance was way up.
Yeah, you did. That was crazy too. That was super cool.
Yeah. Usually my seats aren't great, but I'm also far enough back, and the theater is usually pretty empty towards the back. But I want to say there were people scattered throughout this whole thing this time. And I did see some people outside pitching seat fillers, which the seat fillers were still in front of me. I could tell they're the ones that stand up whenever the musical guests get on or something like that, and they need somebody down low close to be super ecstatic about stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the seats were better. I was actually really surprised, I guess. I thought there was a small chance that I would get like a row ahead of where I usually did, and then the actual VIPs, like developers and stuff, would be, which they still were. I want to say they occupied probably the first 5 rows.
Sure.
But yeah, we were right behind them, and I think I was 1 row kind of behind that cutoff, unless they also bought VIP tickets. I don't know. Maybe VIP tickets are the ones they hand out for attendees and nominees and stuff like that.
Yeah, the nominees still have to buy their own tickets.
That would not be surprising, I guess, but but yeah, good seats. So the show gets started, and even in the pre-show, because here we're still pre-show, Keeley is on stage, but he's doing, I don't know what the actual separation is between pre-show and show. Some would argue there is not any, but you could tell early on that they're still playing pretty fast and loose with the world premiere moniker.
Sure.
Right? Some of it's for games that have already been announced. It's basically, I guess, if the trailer itself hasn't actually been seen anywhere before, that counts as a world premiere, regardless of if the game itself is not.
It's been out for a year.
Yeah. So
world premiere, Overwatch.
Whatever. Either way, they threw out some of those, and then the show got started. And the funny thing was, actually, I think with the closer seats, it was a different crowd of people for sure. Like normally I'm, even when I get tickets pretty early on in the selling cycle, I'm in the back-ish with a scattered group. And the people next to me are very, let's say, interested in Call of Duty. Which I am too. But that's kind of the level of excitement that exists out there. They're very excited, but they're excited for larger titles.
Sure.
Up close, people are yelling for freaking Dead Cells, which took action game, I think is what it was, one of the categories they led with. But yeah, Dead Cells took that one home, which Call of Duty is in that category, and people freaking loved it around me.
Dead Cells, good stuff.
So it was cool to be. I feel like a difference in the crowd. Like they were a little bit more game savvy, possibly.
Yeah, that's rad.
But the funniest and loudest yell that came the soonest, I think this is when the show actually started, and Keeley threw to the orchestra, who was being led by Hans Zimmer.
What?
Dude next to me flips.
Well, I mean, that's a crazy...
Hans Zimmer.
Well, that's a crazy... What?
No, I mean, you should flip for Hans Zimmer. He's done fantastic work, but it
this
was
guy
hilarious.
Was like,
Just this dude was like, he did. He went off.
I imagine this guy had a like a flannel on that he ripped open, and it said Zimmer head on it.
He had a Hans Zimmer shirt on it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Zimmer head with a giant picture of Hans Zimmer's face on it, and then the back is just all his movie credits.
It was fantastic. It got me hyped for the Game Awards, because
sure.
The guy was all over it for Hans Zimmer. Then they got into some of the exclusives, and this is where we'll go, I think, mostly as far as that goes. You can stop me. A trailer came up. It looked very much like it would be a Marvel Ultimate Alliance type game, and it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Sure.
For Switch only.
Yeah, no. Terrific. Gotta love just platform exclusivity. It's gotta be...
don't know.
It's gotta be timed.
Yeah, I guess why wouldn't it be? I mean, the other ones are still up, and they did remasters for them.
Yeah, it's good.
In any event, I like the look of it. Yes, another Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yes.
Oh,
of course.
Are you? That's a pickup for you. Like, you're
well,
like
we recently did too, and I feel like freaking loved it. I guess. Okay, all right. You want me to measure my expectations here? I like the look of it. It's more cell shaded than the other one was. It does look like it would fit a Switch more than the other one would. But if they can at least deliver what Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 delivered, yeah. I don't know if I'm day one, but yeah, I'll pick that up.
Yeah,
we had enough fun with that, didn't we?
No, I love it. I'm day one on this. Like I'm there.
All right.
And, well, I'm not day one, but let's put it this way. I'm day like 3.
Okay.
Right. I'm definitely this is definitely gonna be a wait and see one.
Yeah, I'm day wait and see with that one for sure. Yeah,
but I feel pretty good about like that where it's coming from. I will say that I'm a little let's say I'm a little hesitant based on not only, I just want to see what the game is like, how people like it, if it's, worthwhile playing. But the one other thing that kind of makes me a little hesitant is I want to know what that roster is.
The roster didn't look, I mean, you're right. They wouldn't have shown all the characters in that one trailer. They'll save some and kind of trickle them out.
I hope so.
the group shot they showed definitely didn't look as big as Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which is the one we played most recently, but I guess that included all the DLC as well.
I got to assume they're going to do more than that. I mean, with new hardware and all that stuff, you got to hope that they're going to do a much larger crew. But there are just certain characters that I personally like. We'll see. We'll just see where they go.
It could be a pared down approach. A Switch doesn't need a pared down version. Switch has freaking Doom on it, right? They have full-fledged console games on the Switch. But there's a chance that it's, I don't know, maybe a $40 title or something like that as a smaller roster. And I hope it's not that. I hope it's as big of a game as Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 were.
Yeah, I mean, yes. That's where I'm at. Is I want it to be a proper. I don't care if the camera has changed a little bit. I just want it to be, improved upon that. I still want the fusions. I want to be able to, have cool, weird little switches in the middle of a fight where I'm suddenly not Wolverine now I'm Sabretooth. Now I'm Daredevil.
Well, I would imagine that's the stuff they keep in no matter what. I guess it's just a matter of whether or not.
You'd think, but then disappointment abounds, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay. All right. Wait and see. And it was at this point that I realized, and this is actually one of the things I like about being there, is kind of the backstage stuff to it. Mm-hmm. I realized that I could literally hear the backstage stuff to it because they would often drop a curtain and they would do some stuff. And while that was happening, you could hear the stage gears turning behind the guy. Like while Jonah Hill was up there, the stage was going nuts. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were bringing out the orchestra or it's probably some sort of rotating thing back there, so they can set one up and then switch it around. But yeah, it was just noisy.
I just want to mention this. I do think it's really bizarre which Hollywood people they end up getting to come do this. Like, I'm not ragging on any of them for doing it. I'm just very curious. Like, are all of them gamers of any type, or is it just I'm coming in here because I was asked or whatever? And no judgment outside of all of the judgment that I have for them. But I am curious about that. Like, is Jonah Hill a gamer? Does he like video games, or is it like a passing thing for him, or is he just I'm here because I can promote something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's always hard to tell. I mean, when we spoke with Keeley at PAX, he spoke about LA being the place because it was a greater nexus of talent. Like he was able to get, and I bet there is some of that. There was, Christoph Waltz, probably not a huge gamer, but there was probably something that was like, hey, Christoph Waltz is going to be in town, and Keeley, being Keeley, is going to pull those strings, work those connections, and see if he can get him there, or if he's available for it, or if he'd be willing to. And I bet we get some weird picks because of that. But there's also people like Jonah Hill who I feel like, I bet they're invested in games to a certain extent. It also gets weird because there are stars that come out and say, I like games. And then that becomes like a commodity for them or like a selling point for them, like Zachary Levi, I love, but I feel like there was a point where he talked about games so much that now, people actively seek him out to be like, hey, will you host a game thing? And he's like, okay.
That was so weird. That was so like, I like seeing him there, and it was crazy because I was like, he's going to be Shazam. It's going to be great. But
wait, where was he? Where are we talking about?
At the Game Awards last year.
Zachary Levi? Oh.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes, he was there last year. Sorry.
And it was that thing where it was like, I don't know. I don't know if you like games or not. I honestly can't tell. And no, it doesn't ultimately matter, but I'm just genuinely curious.
Sure. And to some extent, everybody plays games now. So there's also that. But yes, I see what you're saying. Jonah Hill, I feel like is cool either way. It was funny that they had, now that we're just celebrity talking,
let's talk
Joel McHale back.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he even mentioned that too. He's like, oh, you had me back, because was he hosting?
He hosted
it. Wasn't the Game Awards either. I think it was when it was still Spike TV.
Yeah, he hosted it, and apparently,
kind of, yeah.
Apparently, his version of comedy didn't land, even though Keeley said it was funny. Keeley was fine with it. He was like, apparently, people watching it didn't quite pick up on what he was trying to do.
Yeah, and that's again.
That's Keeley being diplomatic, by the way.
It is him being diplomatic, but also Joel McHale is an insult comic for part of his act.
He is, for sure.
And it was a bad
connection
coming together of we like Joel McHale's comedy and he's going to do that to the thing I like now. type thing. So yeah, there was there were celebrities there, and some of them were cool. And I just thought Christoph Waltz, for not being the gamer one you would think of, did pretty darn well with his dialogue about like PC and mouse and keyboard and stuff like that.
It's funny because you look at Christoph Waltz and you go, you know what? He would do that because he's a consummate
right?
He is the consummate professional.
Right.
Even his like speech at the Oscars when he won, he was like, no, I've got this. I'm talking about this. Okay, so quickly just list off all of the celebrities.
No.
Okay.
My notes don't work like that, and I think we might have talked about all the ones that I had noted. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. There is one more, but I will get there.
Okay.
It will be the one celebrity I was the most excited about, like legitimate. I won't tell you I'm excited about a celebrity. Most of the time, I don't care. Whatever. I don't try not to buy into the celebrity thing anyways.
Sure.
Might have talked about it. It's Thursday's book club for movies. But there was one where I will admit to you, I was highly excited and still a little starstruck by. But before we get there, I want to say actually Christoph Waltz, since we're on that, was there to present for the best performance. And I'm happy to report that Arthur Morgan does sound like Arthur Morgan.
Does he really?
I mean, yeah, he was not our pick for the win
here
because we were both not terribly sold on a lot of his delivery and performance.
I'm still not.
Right. Yes, but I thought maybe it would lessen the blow a little bit because we think he sounds too affected when he's doing Arthur Morgan at times.
Yeah.
He's his normal speaking voice apparently Arthur Morgan-esque. So
all right, I got to go. I'll have to go watch his acceptance speech.
They brought up another trailer for another Far Cry. They keep Far Crying.
Yeah. I do like the idea of this one though. This is kind of cool, and I may want to pick this one up because because it follows the end of the last one, where at the end of the last one you get into the bunker with the crazy guy, and then the nuclear bomb goes off. I like the idea of them following it up with that, and I always like the Far Cry series. They are really fun. My biggest issue with them, which I think I said last time, and why I didn't want to get another one, is just how dense they are and how I get sidetracked on everything.
Yeah. Okay. I want to play another Far Cry someday. It's just that it doesn't appear to be changing all that much from game to game. And hearing people talk about Far Cry 5, it sounds like the story aspect was kind of fumbled in any meaningful way. And
yeah, I mean, and they're following it up, and I hated the story because the story, like I remember mentioning this, the story had some high points, but it ends up in just the ending was just not great. But that they're following it up, like they're like, you know what? Fine, you guys didn't like the ending. Guess what? Far Cry Nuclear Wasteland now. Screw you guys.
There's another whole game of the ending you didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
also Apocalypse, like whatever.
But
that's not a new setting.
They are clearly looking to do Far Cry Fallout Edition, and you know what? After everything else that's come out, might be a good little alternative.
Sure. Okay. I'll keep moving on this thing.
All right.
Supergiant has a new game coming out, Hades, which looks super giant-y, looks good.
That looks so fun.
It looks beautiful, too. It's got all the Supergiant stuff going for it, it seems. A roguelite, apparently.
It's a roguelite Diablo thing. I love it. It looks great.
I'm sure those guys are even with their kind of left field stuff, like Pyre, which I didn't actually play, but I feel like they do interesting stuff and different stuff and innovative stuff, you know?
Yeah, I actually watched gameplay of it today. I watched like a 10-minute long thing. And
there's been a lot more released on it.
It's so good. Well, yeah, I mean, because now, I don't know if you wanted to jump into this or not.
Yeah, no, this is also the jumping off point for where it's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out on Epic's new launcher.
Oh, I'm sorry, where it's already out in early access is in the Epic Games Store.
Yes.
Which this news broke shortly after we recorded last week, so we didn't get into it. But Epic has announced that they're doing their own game store, which why wouldn't they?
Sure.
They've got the install base now. They've got their Fortnite base, which basically I guess they've built out the Fortnite installer to be the Epic Games Store now. Like that thing will update to just be that from here on out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, this is what you do when you have a Fortnite and you can waylay that into another $1 zillion by taking on Steam.
Right.
And
And
which is what Discord's been doing recently, which is what I feel like there's another comer.
Well, we're getting to a point here where it's almost like Netflix and Hulu and now ABC and NBC, where everybody's like, well, I want to get my own launcher, and we're also going to just have a game store on here, so we're just going to get all the same stuff Steam does, but we'll have different sales because we're not Steam, so who knows what's going to happen. And it is totally that thing. Like, it's the same thing that's going on TV right now. So like now I've got to have 50.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, Steam has been in need of some competition, I think, for a while.
For sure. It's just getting to the point where like the competition is just going to eat itself because everybody's going to have their own launcher for their own games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't see that as it's annoying for sure. And yeah, to the extent that other publishers and developers want to play. But I feel like, EA Origin has been around for a bit, and they're not, they haven't really...
Ugh.
Like it's EA games still show up on Steam to some extent.
Oh,
right?
yeah, because people hate Origin because it's trash.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, this being another, well, okay, I was going to say third party, but ostensibly third party, even if it is Epic's, like they're looking to take on and bring in all games, I think.
You know what? Those games I don't think do show up on Steam because I think you actually have to have Origin for some of the other stuff, like how it connects.
I know not all of them do, but I thought some of them still did. I mean, there's okay.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
yes, all those launchers are annoying, but there's still this thought and this understanding that if you want to reach more people, like that's the give and take here. Is EA can be like, this is only coming out on EA Origin, but they're going to lose sales. They're going to lose some sales.
Right.
And is that worth it to them to have that exclusivity? Sometimes it's not. So yeah, they push to Steam. Or, in this case where Epic is trying to make a foothold, why wouldn't you push to the spot where people launch Fortnite from, right?
And not only that,
you automatically get all those people looking at the store when they bust up, maybe seeing your game when they try to play Fortnite, when they play Fortnite every day of their lives.
Right.
All those zillion people.
And I mean, not only that, their Epic's looking to do a way better split for developers and the Epic cost for indie developers.
So I guess 70-30 is pretty much industry standard, both, if we're talking Apple, mobile to whatever. The Epic Game Store is looking to do a couple interesting things. Not only is the Epic Game Store doing 8812, but they're waiving all UE4, because Epic also does Unreal Engine, waiving all those royalties if you're selling on the Epic Game Store. So they are leveraging anything and everything, and freaking smartly. That
is definitely going to be a very attractive place for people to go.
Right?
I mean, you think about things like and I'm going to use this one. It's probably the worst example because I don't think it uses UE4 at all. It shouldn't, but I'm going to just use it because it's the first game I'm coming to mind. Super Meat Boy. Let's take a game like Super Meat Boy. The amount of money, if they're using UE4, that they would have to continue to pay in terms of royalties and that they would lose out on, that could be a tremendous amount for that game that sold a huge ton of, shipped like a ton of copies.
Right.
Just imagine the amount of money they are now going to get to re-put into another game that you end up loving. That's great. I'm a supporter, and I hope we end up seeing that money get refunneled back into games, and we start getting
that being the idea.
Yeah. We start seeing like the indie world grow a little bit more.
Yeah. That Epic Games Store logo showed up at numerous points throughout the night at the Game Awards. So
I missed most of that, honestly.
Fair.
I saw that.
Keep moving then. How about that?
Yeah, let's go. I'm glad we're informed.
Patrice Desilets got up there and spoke about ancestors.
He's still working on that, huh?
Yeah. That was the what is this moment of the show, basically. They showed a trailer, and you're a monkey, but you're playing through like evolutionarily something.
Oh, good.
I don't know what I saw, basically.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm confused as well.
Keep an eye out for that. Anthem, they had a big fat story trailer for.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
Big surprise, am sold on story trailers.
Man, it's one of those things where I just know I'm going to get Destinied on it.
Well, yeah, and
the thing is, like
way to suck all the air out of a room, Matt.
In every respect, this looks far closer to what I ever hoped Destiny could have been.
Well, you would hope they would learn some lessons, also, yeah, too. But I'm more concerned that it's a good one, honestly.
Yeah,
Right?
because I don't want to. Like, if Destiny were good, we'd still be playing it.
Right, exactly. Yes, Red Dead would be even less of a discussion now.
Yeah, it would be that Borderlands 2 thing for what 2.5, 3 years for us.
Yeah, what was that?
I kind of want to go back to it, honestly.
We'll get to Rage 2. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Nah.
No surprise there that they've got me interested in even just what they showed, which wasn't a ton.
No.
Then they had another musical number by the orchestra, which I got to say, and I think they probably learned this lesson from last year, even though last year they had Phoenix was the musical guest, and before that they did Run the Jewels. They've had one band, I think it was Churches at one point, if that's how you say that.
Chiverches.
But this year they didn't have any one actual specific musical guest that seemed to be weird for some reason.
Good.
They seem to double down instead on the orchestra, which you get Hans Zimmer.
Yeah,
that's why.
I'm a Zimmerhead. I'm a Zimmerman.
So I did like that they doubled down on that. Like they had more performances from the orchestra, and that seemed to take the place.
That's good.
Of
That's
the
great.
Random band. Yeah,
because I really loved when they did that.
Yeah, right. Good idea. The guy next to me, Hans Zimmer, the Zimmerhead.
Yeah.
Also a big fan of Crash Team Racing.
Sure. Why wouldn't he be?
Second loudest yell of show. So
the lunacy.
Look out for that. Big Crash Team Racing fan, are you?
Never played it before and have no interest in it right now.
Okay.
See, every game that's like that, you always lose that to Mario Kart.
It's not Mario Kart, right?
Why,
yeah. And even looking at this trailer, I'm like, oh, look, that's not Mario Kart.
Why go for the substitute when you can have the real thing?
It's just nothing has really ever approached that. Actually, not even Diddy Kong Racing, which I think would get close.
Everything else is margarine.
It's bad for you?
Mario Kart's butter.
Then maybe my most favorite presentation of show, the guy who plays, actually was the guy and the boy, Kratos and Atreus got up there, Christopher Judge and the kid.
Okay.
Sonny Soljic, being not how you say that probably.
Soljic.
But they got up and presented an award, and this isn't even the celebrity I'm excited about, but and I hate that I did this, because it's the whole, this is what I do. Will you do it? Ever do your voice? And some actors are very nice and they'll do it for them. But I always feel dirty in a way that, oh, you want me to dance for you, do you? Type thing. But I so badly wanted to hear him say boy. And they didn't for the whole thing until it got time to announce the award. And he didn't open the thing. And then the guy told him to open it, boy. And the crowd went wild. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
Best presentation of show.
I love it.
And what they were announcing was Content Creator of the Year, which when Ninja won that, I found out that, the blue-haired guy sitting just about directly in front of me was Ninja.
Oh, man, you should have flicked him in the ear.
I should, just been messing with him the whole time.
Throwing popcorn. Nerd. What's going on, you blue-haired beehole?
I have nothing against Ninja, actually. But yeah, he's
the Justin Bieber of streamers.
Oh, is he? Is that where we're at now?
I don't know.
No, I couldn't even.
I don't care about the guy even remotely.
Okay.
I don't pay nearly enough attention to any of those people.
Fair enough.
I care not. And by the way, real quick,
okay.
I'm going to say this. In terms of a content creator of the year, I'll tell you who should have won content creator of the year as a content creator, because they're not talking about streamer. They didn't say streamer. It says content creator. Obviously us, but also Danny O'Dwyer, man. No Clip deserves that by a significant margin, man.
But he was up last year too. Did he win last year?
I don't think so.
He should win something. Yeah, he should win last year, retroactively, and this year. Yeah.
Danny O'Dwyer all the day, every the day.
Yes, I'm going to keep moving. The next thing that you must have something to say about was the Outer Worlds trailer they dropped, which is made from the guys who made the original Fallout and Obsidian.
Yeah, Obsidian.
So the guys who made Fallout New Vegas as well.
Yeah.
It looked interesting to me. Surely it looks interesting to you.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a ton to say about it because it's Obsidian. It looks like they're following their New Vegas style of they've got the dialogue trees and everything.
Right. Yep.
Game looks right now it already looks better than Fallout 4 did.
And it looks like kind of a future Fallout aesthetic. Like it's not so much harkening to the past. It's doing more of it's in space and their ships and stuff like that.
I am sold on this. It's Obsidian. that one is going to be a tough one to be like, I don't want to pre-order it. I'm not going to. I'm going to want to. But that game, yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to that. That is one that when the stream picks back up, good chance that'll be forever played.
Right. I'm keeping an eye on it. Is it a multiplayer thing? It looked like it could be. Like it could be shooting for the Fallout 76 thing, which would be another good timing thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think
no?
this is.
Okay.
I think they're sticking with the Obsidian. It's a single player game that you do your thing in, and it's just going to take you forever.
Trailer was fun. Some of the jokes didn't quite land, but
sure,
may very well not be indicative of the entire game, etc., etc. Then they played a trailer for a game that was kind of generic in a way. And after watching it for a certain amount of time, I was like, oh man, this totally reminds me of when they dropped that trailer for a game called Dauntless at the last one.
Yeah.
Because it was another trailer for Dauntless. It literally was. It was within seconds of me thinking to myself, this reminds me of Dauntless from last year. It was like Dauntless. And I'm like, wow, okay. I guess they're still going or still releasing.
Nice
I don't know.
work,
It was another world premiere. So
batting 1,000 out of the park.
Then they showed a trailer for No Man's Sky latest things called The Last Campfire. They literally call it a short. It's no surprising that they would choose something a little bit more focused for their next go around here.
That game
looks like a cross between No Man's Sky and
a Campfire
Journey or something like that. Although I'm going to guess this is not multiplayer or massively No Man's Sky in any way.
I'm going to guess they are not going to tell us at all what it is, just so nobody has any expectations.
Based on what? So Sonic Fox won for best esporter, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever that category was.
Right.
And gave just a completely fun and reason why you go to the Game Awards acceptance speech.
He put on his furry outfit, didn't he?
Yeah, he was also in his which I just thought he was kind of doing a bit for his acceptance. But then the longer he went on, I was like, man, this guy seems like really sincere. And then he took it off, and he started talking about he's super gay, which I took to mean he's a super gay, which I don't know what that is even, but he's also a furry. So
very
just
strong.
Let it all out, and it was just a really fun moment for everybody there. Like round of applause over and over for him. And
nice,
everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. They had a Battlegrounds trailer. It was pretty fun with the bird. Was that one of the ones you got to see?
I skipped over that one purposefully.
Okay. It's Battlegrounds, and there wasn't really anything.
That's why I skipped over
There's a snow map. I guess that might be new and exciting, but I don't know. The trailer itself was just a fun watch, so recommended.
Cool. All right.
Then they did have a musical number by a band that I guess did some soundtrack, I think the band's name was Devil Trigger, or the song's name was Devil Trigger, which sure sounds dumb-ish. But it's for Devil May Cry. So you're like, oh, right. Yeah. So
that might have been kind of fun to see, actually.
No, it was cool. And they had lots of fire and fire hot.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could feel it.
You near fire.
Close.
Fire burn.
But it was at this point that I kind of clued in, and we're more than halfway through the show, and I'm going to burn through the rest of this. But I started to realize that the awards were not center stage this year. And that's been a push and pull for sure. In fact, Keeley mentioned it specifically at that PAX thing again. We talked to him specifically because he's always talking about where the balance is, especially when you want to honor games, which has always been his push, but also you want to celebrate games.
Yeah.
Which in a way, this is emblematic of the entire industry from journalism to marketing, right? Like is it enthusiast or is it just
fanaticism
even? Yeah, sure. So it took me an entire show just about, but I was like, the awards aren't the centerpiece here. Like, yeah, it was still a draw, especially for me.
Yeah.
But I bet if you took like time devoted to awards matched up against anything else, awards is going to be 5th place or something, maybe,
That's great. And until you mentioned it, I realized that we haven't really talked about any of the. We've talked about like 2.
Yeah, and that's why my notes reflect that. Like I wasn't taking notes on the people that were winning things really all that much because it wasn't center stage. They did some smart things. Like they still rattle off awards, like on the side stage, as they're talking to somebody else, no acceptance speech or something like that. So they did a few of those things, but they also, one of the smart things I thought they did, and I was totally cool with this, was that they doubled up on some. Like if there was one game that also won another award, they would showcase the big one, whatever, like, best RPG, although that one was sidelined as well, so that wasn't even one to talk about. But they would, as they walked up to the stage, they would also say, this game also won this award.
Yeah.
That's cool, because why, one of the, say what you will about award shows, you don't want to see the same people get up and say thank you again for the 5th time for another thing. So yeah, that
and also that way
sense.
you don't have to embarrass the other groups.
The groups that don't win awards.
Yeah, the losers, if you want to call them that.
I don't.
Oh.
Hurts.
Yep. Sadness.
They had a Crackdown trailer, continued excitement for Crackdown, and then came the presenter of show, the celebrity that starstruck me. Are you ready? Any guesses?
Who? Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh man, that would be pretty big actually. Freaking Pepe the Prawn, man.
Pepe the Prawn.
I saw a Muppet in person, dude.
That is the coolest thing in the world.
Right? And Keely even mentioned it too. He's like, we finally got a Muppet on the show. I'm like, yeah, you did.
That's great. I love that it was Pepe the Prawn too.
He's freaking awesome. He delivered his jokes well.
Well, of course
he was taking some selfies. It was him and Ninja were kind of playing off each other. It was totally fun.
That's awesome. I never would have guessed a Muppet. I mean,
that's the one that got me.
Like I may have guessed a Muppet of an actor or somebody.
Sure, yeah. No, I mean, technically, yeah, there were a ton of Muppets there. Like
exactly.
If I had an English accent, I could be like, look at these Muppets.
Look at these Muppets.
That's good. See?
Bloody Muppets.
No bloody Muppets.
Oi!
Jeez.
Bloody Muppet!
I mean, Pepe's red, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of a natural.
Yeah, don't
from the ocean.
Don't assume anything.
Celeste won its category, which was best independent game, but it also won the games for impact category as well. That was one of the ones they doubled up on. So yeah, I bought it, which I knew I was gonna anyways.
Wait,
the glove out there talking it up pretty highly.
He was super into it, and I you know what? Better off than dead that you got that. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. We can do a show on Better Off Dead.
It's a really funny movie, and I like it a lot, and I'd love to do it. Book club for movies Thursday. No, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing the review on that. I don't know that that's something I'll pick up, but
Yeah, I'm probably gonna regret it because I hear it's really hard, and we know how I love hard games.
You're a big fan.
But it's a 2D platformer, so who knows? Who knows?
Plus, it looks really good.
Yeah, and it won the Games for Impact category because it deals with some issues, and it was made by a very tight-knit team. And
yeah,
I was really impressed by everything I heard about it. So
I love it.
The guys that made Abzu are making a new game called The Pathless. I'll be there for that. The Red Dead musical production of the show was awesome. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I missed that too.
Yeah, check it out. It's definitely cool. You must have something to say about the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer, which Ed Boon got up to present the game best racing and sports game, I think, and
which makes sense.
Scorpion's hook shot, right? From Zelda.
Yeah.
Broke through the screen, and it was a Mortal Kombat 11 trailer. What do you think, Mortal Kombat expert of the show here?
Cinematic 10, music -6. That was bad music. I didn't enjoy it even a little bit.
What was it? Like a hip hop rock cover of
I don't know what
song?
I don't know what it was. All I know is that ever since Mad World ruined game trailers, everybody's got to have a song that people like or know. I'll be honest with you. With Mortal Kombat, one of the things that I really don't want in terms of those trailers, I don't want music because I like hearing the sounds that they create for all of that stuff. And I like hearing the fighters and then watching people's heads explode and then getting like, it was great.
They turned up the sound effects on the crunching too. I don't think you would have missed any. What do you miss the crunching?
Yeah, I love the crunching. More
plenty
crunching.
Of splats. I'm saying you could hear it
louder though.
Okay,
no music.
Yeah, only that stuff.
I didn't like the music at all, but the cinematic looked great, and that's like a no-brainer. Yeah, I know that I'm going to pick that up because I want to play at least the story, and I always enjoy the NetherRealm games. So
what I did find intriguing about the trailer though is that because it's Raiden fighting Scorpion, but like a new Scorpion, like a new redesigned Scorpion, like they do every time.
Yeah.
But after he killed that dude, another Scorpion came out that was dressed in like classic Scorpion costume. So if that was more than just a fun trailer thing, if that's, kind of a focus of whatever Mortal Kombat 11 is, that could be cool. I would be interested in something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. Because I always like the stories, and they I know for you it's a little harder because
I need something more. I do,
yeah, especially with fighting games because like once you've played that fighting game, and I mean this is the same thing. It's kind of that generational thing that I'm like with Call of Duty, right? Where once I've played one per the generation. It's gonna be like that until the next generation,
It's actually true. This would be, and they gave a date for this. This is April next year, I want to say.
That sounds right.
Assuming it doesn't get delayed, obviously.
I don't think that will. NetherRealm never really delays their games.
But yeah, that would be 2 Mortal Kombats for this generation.
Yeah.
Okay. Psychonauts 2 had a trailer. I'm sure that game will be fun, and I'll probably end up playing it because I never played the original and heard so much about it, etc.
Sure. All right.
It began with a Starbreeze logo. So
danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a bummer way to begin that because of everything that's happened to Starbreeze recently.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you want to get into this. This was another kind of news item that we were going to roll into it, but
I think we could probably come back to it next week maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, let's skip over it right now.
For the short of it is that they are going into some form of bankruptcy, I believe.
Financial issues abound.
Combined with the fact that their offices were raided and computers were seized in conjunction with an employee that was, I think, still being held for insider trading.
And then on top of that, Overkill's The Walking Dead tanked.
Yes, I guess that was the first step that kind of precipitated the financial issues.
And I totally understand why it tanked. I do. I get it.
We talked about that. You played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
You weren't wasn't your favorite thing, but
no, I mean the problem with it was the same problem with some of their other games. It was basically Payday, and Payday has some good things going for it, but it's not great. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe more worth a mention is the Fortnite stuff that they did announce. They came out and announced something called The Block, which I didn't realize was in conjunction with, I guess, a smaller leak the week before.
Yeah.
Which is this content creation aspect to Fortnite that they're releasing or getting into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about this? The content creation thing, at least?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of their version of Minecraft, honestly. That's what I got out of it. It's
okay.
I don't remember if they said that you can actually create like your own kind of Kings of the Hill type things and your own kind of gameplays and stuff. I don't remember if that was, I feel like it was, but I could be conflating it with something else that I just recently saw.
I guess the Epic blog post says, quote, design games, race around the island, battle your friends in new ways, and build your dream Fortnite. So we're probably in the early stages here anyways. And yeah, I think this is a lot of the leak that happened. But the block, the thing they actually announced at the Game Awards, is in conjunction with this in that it appears in the game space and some creations will be highlighted there for everybody to kind of check out. If I understand it correctly. Yeah, so it's Fortnite's version of what is that Sackboy game? What was that called? Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet. It's their version of Little Big Planet.
Yeah, sure. I think it's probably more akin to that than Minecraft even. Yeah. It's cool. It makes sense. Like, I mean, Epic's doing the smart thing here. They're building that thing out. Basically, honestly, the first thing that came to mind when they announced that, I was like, Fortnite's a platform. Like, it's barely a game anymore. Like, it is right. It is a platform, you know. Like, and in this case, literally, like the block looks like a giant platform.
You've made an excellent point, and I applaud you.
The first. I made it up.
There it is.
They had another Rage 2 trailer. I tweeted out that the more I see that game, the more I think it's eating Borderlands lunch, which I probably should have said could eat Borderlands lunch. Like, they appear to be doing a lot of what Borderlands 3 needs to be. Yeah. So kind of the more I see about that, I'm like, man, what is Borderlands 3 going to be in this world, in a post-Rage 2 world? assuming that game comes out, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm super curious between the two of them also, because I especially now, I just don't have the confidence in Gearbox to.
Right.
I don't know that they're going to be able to follow up Borderlands 2 much better, because I mean the pre-sequel was not good,
which they didn't make, to be fair, but it doesn't really give you any. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what their update is, because I mean really the success of Borderlands 2 is real. They just need to copy everything about that game and transport it and make it bigger for Borderlands 3, right? Like, I mean, it is essentially just do that, and you were gonna. That's a winner right there. Make it bigger.
See, I don't think so though. Like that, I love Borderlands 2, but if they don't do something that's kind of updated for this games as service world or whatever, which it's not a concept or genre that I love.
No.
But if they don't do something that's more connected in that way, that is an evolution, because games as service is arguably an evolution from Borderlands. Like all the Borderlands and the 4-player co-op and connected co-op stuff that games like Borderlands 2 and 1, what they were doing, is kind of what today has grown out of, obviously.
Yeah.
If they try to release something that's more of a throwback than an evolution, like, I don't know if that works. As much as I love Borderlands 2, I mean, yeah, I would get it and play it, sure, and probably enjoy it, but in spite of it, because I want it to be different. Yeah.
No,
I mean, I get, or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I wouldn't, because I would see it and be like, this is just like Borderlands 2. I have a remastered version of Borderlands 2 that I haven't ever opened on my Xbox One. I might just play that instead, or be more apt to, like, if I wanted that, why wouldn't I just play that instead, type thing.
No, I get you, man. I like I said, I think that's the winner. I think that's how they make that's how they rebuild some of the goodwill. But no, I'm not saying that it's what I want. I'm saying that that's what I think is the right formula for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because, yeah, they don't have the same team.
They don't have the same writers.
They don't have, like, Battleborn came out. You know, that's not exactly...
Right. And I mean, I just personally right now, I don't have the confidence. And if Borderlands 3 was announced last night, if it was announced, 2 days from now and said, oh, it's coming, that's one that I would be waiting every review to come in for it.
And to get back to it, Rage 2 looks interesting, man.
Yeah,
like, and that's poised to come out before. Like, they need to announce and push Borderlands 3 a little bit before Rage 2 comes out.
Yeah.
I could not believe, like, and maybe this would be a sign that, of things to come. But if they didn't at least do something like that before Rage 2 came out, so the people who are concerned or have their eye on that could be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll wait. Because, yeah, if Rage 2 looks freaking amazing or continues to look good. And I'm not going to say it looks freaking amazing at this moment, but
sure.
I'm definitely intrigued and I like it more and more.
I'm telling you, man.
If we get that and we like it, I'm going to be pretty spent on a Borderlands 3 when that decides to show up, probably. No,
absolutely. And I think my hope for Rage 2, and I don't remember, and I maybe it's not been announced. I actually just don't remember. But if that game is like, if it takes some of the cues from Borderlands, like the 2-player, 4-player action type thing, and the kind of loot stuff, but they've updated it to their little world, man, that is super interesting to me as well. And because at some point that kind of is Borderlands 3, like okay, so it's Borderlands 3.5 or 2.5, exactly. Whatever,
right, exactly.
And then we see what Gearbox does, because yeah, I mean, 100% it could burn me out on a Borderlands game. But if Borderlands 3 were to come out and we hear that, oh man, that story is actually really, really good, yeah, all right, I could probably get back into that.
Honestly, I don't know why we're even talking about it. We're still going to be playing Red Dead, so whatever.
Yeah, that game doesn't end, so ever.
Biggest disparity of show and third loudest cheer from Hans Zimmer, from the Zimmerhead, was for this Persona 5 trailer that it looked like it was for most of it.
Until
it turned into a Smash trailer.
Yeah.
So Joker from Persona 5 coming to... In fact, this might have been the biggest moment of show. Like, people went freaking nuts when this thing happened.
When that... Yes, I saw the Twitter reaction to that was bananas in pajamas.
And the reason I say biggest disparity is because I love the way Persona 5 looks, and I have nothing against the game, and I would like to play it someday for sure. But just between that game and Smash, and I guess my interest in both and what a crossover might mean, biggest disparity, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And everybody else was like, ah! Dying. So it was a good way to end the show. Let's put it that way.
And that's a good way to end this show.
It is. And I think we've said enough about award shows in general. I think when we talk about them at all, they're award shows. If you're still caught up in whether or not the Game Awards is garbage or not, the answer is both, my friend. And it probably will always be that's an awards show. So
you're not wrong.
We can have that discussion again when we haven't gone for an hour already.
Okay, podcast is 0HITPOINTS.com. You know where we're at on Twitter and Instagram. Thursday, come by for bookclubformovies.com, where we're going to be talking about Halloween movies. Nope, Christmas movies.
No, wait, you did it. Dang it.
Christmas ween.
I thought we were doing Christmas movies, and you're right. We're doing, actually, I did call it December Ween, didn't I?
Yeah, December Ween, that's what it is.
So that did end up making sense. 0HITPOINTS.com. We end up making sense.
We're ending on that.